The Saga of Zeus is coming, and one of the most anticipated events for fans of this final saga is the transformation of the Bronze Saints into Gold Saints. We know that our beloved protagonists have already faced extremely powerful enemies, overcoming the Silver Saints, the Gold Saints, Poseidon's Marina Generals, Hades' judges of the underworld, and even surpassing some gods. Therefore, their advancement in rank is inevitable in this saga. Hello, Saints and Amazons. Welcome to the Sempre Quis Saber channel. I'm Wes, and today we're going to talk about how Shun of Andromeda and Hyoga of Cygnus will finally become Gold Saints. Let's understand why Shun of Virgo and Hyoga of Aquarius are not just temporary replacements, but actually the definitive successors of the Gold Saints. So go ahead and comment where you're watching this video from and how long you've been waiting for this moment to happen. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to support the channel. Now let's start the video. To start, we need to understand that being a Gold Saint isn't just about raw power or wearing shiny armor. In the universe created by Masami Kurumada, the Gold Cloths have a will of their own. They are ancient artifacts that carry the memory and will of all those who have worn them since the mythological era. When we say that Shun and Hyoga are the successors, we're not just talking about a promotion, but about a technical and spiritual fusion. The technical transition is the most fascinating point here. Take Hyoga's case. He was trained in Siberia in temperatures that would kill any ordinary human in seconds. His master, Camus of Aquarius, who is Hyoga's only master in the manga canon, didn't just teach him how to freeze atoms, he taught him absolute zero. Absolute zero is the ultimate limit of physics within Saint Seiya, where all molecular movement ceases. When Hyoga surpassed Camus in the Battle of the 12 Houses, he didn't just defeat his master, he inherited the supreme technique, Aurora Execution. At that moment, the essence of the Aquarius Saint passed to Hyoga, and he became the guardian of eternal ice. The Aquarius Gold Cloth recognizes this. It doesn't protect him just because he's a good guy, but because his Cosmo resonates at the same frequency as Camus'. With Shun, there's something even deeper. Shun is by nature a pacifist. He hates violence. And it's exactly this characteristic that makes him the perfect successor for the Virgo Cloth. If Shaka was known as the man closest to God for his wisdom and detachment, Shun represents divine compassion. Shun's technique, the Nebula Storm, is one of the most powerful in the entire franchise because it doesn't rely on a weapon, but on the manipulation of air currents and his own Cosmo. Shaka saw in Shun not a warrior who seeks death, but someone who understands the cycle of life and sacrifice. We can't talk about succession without mentioning the hero who started it all, Aiolos of Sagittarius. Do you remember that scene in story? In the House of Sagittarius, the young Bronze Saints arrive there, exhausted, wounded, almost giving up, and they find the cracked wall with the message, "To the young ones who have arrived here, I entrust Athena to your care." That wasn't just a plea for help, it was a prophetic testament. Aiolos, with his vision of the future and his sacrifice to save baby Athena Saurikido, knew that the sanctuary's elite would need to be renewed. The Gold Saints of that generation were lost in doubt, manipulated by Gemini's Saga, or simply trapped by old dogmas. By writing those words, Aiolos was sealing the fate of Seiya, Shiryu, and Hyoga, Shun, and Ikki as the pillars who would support the sanctuary for centuries to come. He foresaw that those bronze boys who started out fighting in a tournament for a gold cloth would eventually reach the seventh sense and surpass the gods. The recognition of Shun and Hyoga as Gold Saints is the ultimate fulfillment of Aiolos' will. They are the young men who made it there. Now let's get into the territory that every Saint Seiya fan needs to know. The Next Dimension manga, the official sequel written by Kurumada himself. This is where succession stops being a fan theory and becomes a canonical and unquestionable fact. The Next Dimension saga is the canonical continuation after the Hades saga, and therefore it is also the saga that anticipates the Heaven chapter, which will be released in the coming weeks. In this story, our heroes travel back in time to the Holy War. They try to save Seiya from the curse of Hades' sword, and what happens there is mind-blowing. When Hyoga arrives at the House of Aquarius in the past, he meets Mystoria, the Gold Saint of Aquarius from that era. Mystoria is a strict and powerful saint. They engage in an icy battle, and Hyoga needs to prove that he is not an intruder, but an ally from the future. During the clash, Hyoga uses the Aurora execution with such mastery that Mystoria is left paralyzed. Mystoria realizes that Hyoga's Cosmo is so pure and cold that he has already surpassed the limits of an ordinary knight. It is at this moment that Mystoria makes the official declaration. He acknowledges Hyoga as the future heir of the House of Aquarius. He entrusts Hyoga with the mission to protect Athena, knowing that the Aquarius position will be in good hands in the 20th century. But what happens in the House of Virgo is even more epic. Shun enters the House of Virgo in the past and encounters Shijima of Virgo's residual Cosmo. Known as the Silent Man, Shijima is incredibly powerful and creates almost insurmountable mental barriers. However, something extraordinary happens. The spirit of Shaka of Virgo, coming from the future through the residual Cosmo and Shun's cloth, manifests to protect his successor. We then have a clash between two Virgo knights from different eras. Shaka explains to Shijima that Shun is the man who will inherit the Virgo cloth in the future. Shaka not only defends Shun, but also shows that he possesses the heart of Buddha. Shijima, observing the two and sensing Shun's Cosmo, who, despite his power to destroy everything, restrains himself to avoid harming the enemy, accepts the succession. He acknowledges that Shun is, without a doubt, the most worthy successor that the Virgo constellation could have. It's a double validation. Shaka and Shijima name Shun as the next Virgo Gold Saint. But if you think Virgo, Shun, and Aquarius Hyoga are just concepts from the old manga, you need to check out the works of Megumi Okada. These are Seiya Show, Episode Assassin, and Episode Requiem. In these universes that explore alternate timelines and the future of the characters, we see Shun and Hyoga, in their adult forms, already established as Gold Saints. It's visually striking. In Episode Assassin, Shun appears as the Gold Saint of Virgo, but he hasn't abandoned his chains, which are now made of golden Cosmo. He is a wise man who uses his powers to heal and protect, but when he enters combat, he displays a Cosmo that makes his enemies tremble. He wears the gold cloth with an elegance that is very reminiscent of Shaka, but with Shun's characteristic gentleness. As for Hyoga of Aquarius, in these works, he is the definition of overpowered. He is the absolute master of ice with an imposing appearance, maintaining the cold and calculating demeanor that the position demands, but with the fire of justice that has always driven him. These works serve to show us what these characters would be like if the story moved forward a few years. And the result is simply spectacular. They don't look out of place, they look like they were born to wear those suits of armor. And now, the moment we've all been anxiously waiting for, Saint Seiya's New Heaven Saga, which promises to premiere and bring new information in the coming weeks. The big theory is that we'll finally see the official and definitive transition happening in the new manga arc. The strongest theory suggests that with a direct challenge to the gods of Olympus, the bronze cloths may no longer be enough. We've seen the divine cloths, but they're temporary and require Cosmo to be pushed to its limit. For a prolonged war against Olympus, the sanctuary will need a new permanent frontline. The expectation is that the Heaven Saga will explore how they balance their personalities with the responsibilities of being Gold Saints. Shun will be able to be the Virgo Saint without losing his pacifist essence. Hyoga will be able to wear the gold cloth with the same authority as Camus. All signs point to yes, and these young men will become the legends they were meant to be. It's incredible to think that we've followed these characters since they were orphaned children, being sent to brutal training camps around the world. And now we're about to see them take the top rank among Athena's defenders. So, what did you think about this look at Shun and Hyoga's destiny? Their succession isn't just a change in appearance. It's the natural evolution of a story that teaches us about friendship, sacrifice, and the constant pursuit of self-improvement. If you liked this video, leave a comment to let me know, and thanks for watching until the end. See you next time. Burn your Cosmo to infinity.